The first thing to strike the newcomer about the Beta Birdwood is the atmosphere. It's not just the exclusive property of the drivers, but an event for all to share and participate in. First-time drivers are thrilled at the reception they get along the opening kilometres of the Anzac Highway. The veterans keep coming back for this reason alone.
Where did you get the church view?
We just stole it.
Sunday. We're supposed to be there.
Just so you can do your devotions at the same time as
We're
you're
down. Too late. The Premier's already gone past.
The 60-kilometre journey can be a trial for these old machines, and the first mishap wasn't long in coming.
Hello.
Hi.
What's happening to you?
Oh, I just locked up a brake. It's the bike came out of a shed, hasn't been registered for so many years, and I went through it.
Yeah?
A
spot that you didn't check?
Well, I did. It's just that these bolts are old, and they, whilst they might look all right, they tend to corrode, I guess, and as a consequence, when I went for the back brake, the brake locked, and so I'm just doing some running repairs.
A few kilometres out of Adelaide, Tea Tree Gully. Buildings give way to trees and the crowd swell.
What do you think of it? It speaks for itself, doesn't it? Have a look at the crowd.
Like the old cars?
Oh, they're beautiful. So much better than new cars.
70 years, and I think it's marvellous.
The people on the side of the road get to see all these great cars. I wonder what's in it for the drivers. Silly question.
Look at you all dressed up. You look fantastic. You look really good. Do you belong to? Are you a family, a group of friends? Family. Oh, my goodness. So have you enjoyed all the cars and motorcycles going past? And you've had a breakfast, have you?
Not yet. We've been too busy watching the cars.
So you haven't eaten anything?
No, we're having egg and bacon in a minute.
Hello, ladies.
Hello.
You look terrific. Where did you get your hats from?
We made ours. We made ours.
Did you? Are those real flowers you've got on them? Daisies.
Daisies.
Lovely. What about you?
No, I hired it.
You hired it. And what about the costumes?
We had them at home, bits and pieces.
Bits and pieces you've put together to make it look very authentic.
Out of Tea Tree Gully, Heartbreak Hill, the slow climb to breakneck cutting. Here is the most gruelling test for the cars, but fortunately, today's cool weather saves many from overheating. It may be a snail's pace, but at least the scenery's pretty.
Spot of bother, I see.
Slight problem with the ignition.
With the ignition.
That's right, but it's all part and parcel of the game.
So you know all her little some idiosyncrasies and her temperament.
Yeah, so they're sort of like a woman, you know, a source of constant annoyance and expense.
Really? And what about pleasure?
They're that too, just like a woman again.
If his wife doesn't cook him tea tonight, don't be surprised. But persistence being what it is, the 1910 Overlander fired up on cue and joined the procession. After all, it beats walking.
Hello, how are you?
We do this in Playford.
Do you?
Yeah.
And you've never participated in the actual run of it?
Oh, no. We don't have the vehicle.
Have you champagne and your wine?
Can't you tell?
Excuse me, what on earth are you doing?
250. And that's the bicentennial. 200.
That's fantastic. Good on you.
The cars are now warmed up and firing on all cylinders. With the dead slow crawl of the cutting long gone, the drivers are enjoying winding their cars out toward Chain of Ponds. Their passengers, meantime, are enjoying some of the prettiest scenery the Adelaide Hills can offer on a magnificent spring day in the bicentennial Beta Birdwood run. The picturesque but unusual route the Beta Birdwood follows is steeped in tradition. In 1900, David Shearer of the Murray River town of Mannum drove the first South Australian steam car along this an exhibition in Adelaide, and how things have changed. In 1853, a lone horse rider took an entire day to ride from the Beta Birdwood in a journey fraught with danger. Nowadays, you can do it in an hour. In 1853, this area, the Chain of Ponds, was actually a chain of ponds. It was named after a series of deep water holes lined in succession, and a small township sprung up alongside. Alas, nowadays, Chain of Ponds exists in name alone. In July 1918, it paid the price of progress when the Millbrook Reservoir was created, submerging the entire township of General Store, Post Office and 19 houses. It now serves Adelaide's water needs. And there's probably a garage under there, which this fellow could do with.
Spark plug problems, is it?
Yeah,
Oh
boiling up
dear.
spark plugs. It's
She's
not quite new.
she's a sensitive old girl, is she?
So much.
Have you got a name for her?
Not really.
Not really. Just temperamental.
No, it's very, very temperamental.
course.
But,
Shouldn't have tried to fix it before the run. It used to work all right.
Yeah, that's right. She's not used to maintenance.
Oh, I see. It works better without it.
It hasn't been looked after in the intervening years.
Oh, really? How old is this vehicle?
1926.
One thing a motorist needed in 1926 was strong arms. These things are beasts to get going. One of the veterans of this event is this 1903 Oldsmobile runabout owned by Dr. D.K. Martin. Beautifully restored, this somewhat frail and spindly-looking vehicle has been in every run since 1980 and has no trouble negotiating the 60-kilometre trip to Birdwood. When the petrol smells, the smoke and the noise become too much, it's time to pull over and take in some of the scenery. Spring has brought the countryside around Gumaraka alive, with the last of the winter rains filling the streams. And there's nothing more relaxing than skipping a few stones and watching the lush green hillsides unfold into a living picture postcard. These folks have redefined the mobile home once and for all. There's obviously no shortage of space or creature comforts, but the air conditioning could be a bit of a problem in winter. On the bonnet of this Rolls-Royce is a sculpture known as the Spirit of Ecstasy, and that would capture the feelings of the entrants as they see the flags lining the route that signify the end is near.
Well, we've arrived at Birdwood. This is the big moment. I've had my nap, I've given the coat a quick groom, and I'm ready and roaring for action. But somehow, I'm not sure if I qualify for best of the show.
This year, the organisers moved from the grounds of the National Motor Museum at the Mill to the adjoining Birdwood Oval. There's plenty of room for cars, people, motorbikes, and the rest. The convertibles dipped their lids and all followed the marshal's commands into the fairgrounds. Such is the volume of traffic that as the first cars arrive at Birdwood, many still haven't left Glenelg. This part makes many a driver wince, having spent hours polishing his machine, only to drive it through a dusty track at the finish. The trendies are out in force, and so is the Army, seeing through the job they began so well at the Bay. Safely arrived at Birdwood, the next job for the participants is to find a spot to park and get down to the serious business of having fun. After you find out what's wrong with the car, of course.
And here's a very familiar face, and that is of Mr. John Wood from Rafferty's Rules. Welcome to Adelaide and to the Bay to Birdwood Run.
Thank you very much.
How did you enjoy it?
Oh, absolutely fantastic. I've really never seen anything like it. I'd say it would have to be one of the most exciting events I've ever had anything to do with. I'm just so knocked out to be here.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's a coup for us South Australians, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, look, the atmosphere down at Glenelg this morning was just amazing. The jazz band and all the cars. I'm a bit of a car nut.
We've heard. A little bird told us that you were.
Yeah, and it's just wonderful to have all this. But I think the thing that's really just brilliant about it is just the really positive vibes and
the attitudes.
Like the joyousness of the whole event. You know, the minute you sort of came out of Glenelg, people waving and laughing and
cheering.
all the way up. Oh, yeah, just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
glad.
It's
And
wonderful to be here.
And he's a very, very much loved lady of the screen, Lorraine Desmond. How are you, Lorraine?
I'm great, Adriana. Hello, everybody. We're having a wonderful time.
Isn't it fantastic?
Oh, goodness. Zapping up in that gorgeous little Invicta. Hello. It was just amazing. It's so fast.
I know it. How many miles do you think it goes? Do you know approximately?
I don't know, but it was a racing car originally,
Oh,
so I
right.
would say it would go quite a lick.
Probably be faster than most of the others that came up here today.
Probably. We were passing a lot of things.
I bet. And so where did you start? At the bay, like everyone
Started
else?
at the bay, car number 1
Oh,
at
so you were the
bay.
leader?
Yeah, you better believe it.
And can you give us any hot tips on what's going to happen on country practice in the
Well,
next few series?
I have to check with the writers.